Every great presentation doesn't start from PowerPoint, doesn't start from the template or selecting the colors or the fonts. Every great presentation starts from people, from the audience. You need to understand those people you're going to ask to dedicate, invest their time and attention on you, and you need to make sure that your presentation will be worth their time. So where do we start laying down the storyline of your presentation? The first and most important thing we do is we need to understand the awareness journey of your audience. Where do they start? Because today they start somewhere. With your presentation, they will evolve to a new status of awareness, which is tomorrow. Now, this journey of awareness will be vehiculated through your presentation. But where do they start? We tend to say that there are several stages of awareness. The first one is completely unaware. They are far aware from the goal. Then they might be problem aware. So they are aware of the context, they are aware of the fact that they have a problem, and maybe by talking about the problem, you can hook their attention. Sometimes they are even farther in their research process. Therefore, they know the context, they know the problem, and they know there are solutions. Maybe, though, they don't know there is a solution that you have, that you offer to their problem that might be considerable as one of the best ones. So this will be one more step of awareness. And finally, once they even know that you have the solution to their problem, they might even trust you because they know who you are and why they should trust you. Now, of course, if you are giving your presentation within the organization, which you are working on a daily basis, then your bosses do know you and therefore they already trust you. Still, making presentations and making them effective makes you much more successful. It builds and reinforces and nurtures your personal branding within the organization. Therefore, the starting point is analyzing the awareness level of your audience. Once you understand how far they are on this scale of awareness from the objective, from buying your idea, your product or service, taking the decision you want them to take, then it's time to frame your objective. What do you really want them to do? What do you want them to do at the end of your presentation? Therefore, it's time to decide what you think they will think tomorrow after your presentation. Of course, if there is a presentation, you have to take them through this storyline. This means that they today are not ready to think what you want them to think. But you need them to think something new. You need to instill new ideas into their minds. Because this is the way for you to get them ready for the final pitch, for the final call to action. In lean presentation design, we say that we reverse engineer our communication. So we say that you start from the goal, the final goal. What do you want them to do? I want them, Maurizio, to fund my startup, to buy my product or service, to take a decision. All right, then this is exactly what you want them to do. Make sure you ask them one clear thing. Not many things, one. This is going to be your goal and their goal of change. Now that you have clear in mind what you need them to do, it's important for you to understand what they need to know so that they are willing, ready to do that. And what they think today that is different from what they will think tomorrow after your presentation that makes them not ready yet. You have to fill this gap with your presentation. But of course, triggering change is not easy. And when you try to trigger change, people will naturally resist. They might not even believe you. You know, you're trying to raise funds, they might tell you, I don't believe in your product, your solution. I don't believe you have a solid enough business model. I don't believe in your financial plan or in your teams. Now, all of these are what we call resistances. And it's perfectly fine for an audience to have resistances and for you as a presenter to expect resistances from your audience. If you want to trigger change, it won't be easy. Change requires effort. You need to invest yourself. and you need to help your audience to overcome their resistances. How do we do that? Well, for sure, resistances are an important guideline for your storyline. Why? Because you know that if you haven't tackled all the resistances, they won't be ready to buy, to take the decision, to fund your startup, to act upon your ideas. So the role of your presentation is to make sure that you will help your audience to overcome all the resistances, so that they will come at the end of the presentation persuaded and convinced, ready for you to call them to act. And this is the way we're going to plan the storyline of a powerful presentation.